Hey, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Chastity. Here we talk about beauty, entertainment, celebrities, books, movies, anime, TV shows, and kind of anything else that garners my attention this week. Before we get into today's video, I just want you guys to know that I am an Amazon influencer. You can go over to my Amazon page and shop my favorite adult coloring books with actual black people in them. My favorite hair care products, skincare products, my favorite books, my favorite makeup. All that will be in my Amazon store. So if you want to check any of that out and buy any of that, link will be in the pinned comment below. Again, thank you Amazon for bringing me into your partner program. So we are talking about a little bit more of a heavier topic, but I'm trying not to spend too much time on the sad parts and really talk about the discussion that was happening around it that really bothered me, because something's not okay with a lot of you. So I'm scrolling through the Bird app and then I see this quote tweet from Tamar Braxton, and it's kind of long, which is why I stopped. When people start putting paragraphs on Twitter, you know something serious is happening. And she had quote tweeted this girl who was saying that, like, why did the cop pull me over, saying I was doing 110 and a 50 with like a laughing emoji. And Tamar Braxton had quote tweeted her and said, she was pulled over on suspicions of drunk driving, but let go because the officer had an emergency call about pedestrian on a highway. Moments after tweeting the tweet below, she ended up driving into the same officer, his colleague, the pedestrian, killing all of them. Like, it's actually really insane. I will definitely have a link to the article if you want to read more about this and get more information on that. But I was like shocked when I read this, because all I could think about is the fact that this cop had given her a second chance. Like, when he pulled her over for doing 110 and a 50 and being suspected of drunk driving, and then was like, I have something else to take care of. That should have been a very sobering moment for her. This girl is only 21 years old. But it should have been an extremely sobering moment for her. And she should have, if she was going to keep driving, drive carefully or call someone to come get her or get an Uber or something like that. But she was definitely given a second chance, which she wasted to kill 3 people. That was not her first time like tweeting about drunk driving on her Twitter. Now her Twitter account is completely gone. I'm assuming her lawyer was like, this don't look good, get rid of it. But she has tweeted before saying that she's so much of a better driver drunk, which this is not the first time I've heard that stupid ass statement, and I really wish I would stop saying it, because you are in fact not a better driver drunk. You are a more reckless driver drunk. There's no one on this earth that drives so terribly that being impaired by alcohol makes them a better driver. I honestly view that people saying that they're much better driver drunk as an excuse to kind of enable their drinking by saying it's okay, I'm better like this, when you're not. Alcohol does not make you any better. Being impaired like that is not good for you. Again, like, she's not the first person to ever say that, but it's just like, it is crazy to me the amount of people that actually do believe that. And it's like, you think you are better under the influence of alcohol? You're not. Not a good decision has ever been made drunk. After this whole situation came to light, you know, there's a lot of discourse happening on social media. Now, in my 23 years of being on this flying rock, I never thought saying drunk driving is bad could be a hot take, but apparently it is. The amount of people that were fighting and pushing back that, like, there's nothing wrong with drunk driving. Like, are you serious? Saying that it is completely normal and fine almost to drunk drive. It's not. Like, I really feel like I don't have to like sit here for 15 minutes and explain to you why it is not good to get behind something that weighs tons while you are drunk. I shouldn't have to explain that. But apparently, because when I tell you, people were tweeting that like it's so bad to drunk drive, and they were getting like almost ratioed behind it is insanity to me. People saying you're being too harsh on her. We all drunk drive. We all do not drunk drive. And I really wish y'all would stop abusing the word we. Okay? You and your funky ass friends might do it, but the rest of us don't do that. Okay, are you serious? Like, being heavily intoxicated and getting behind the wheel is not normal. It is so strange to me that so many people think it is. When we have all of these avenues to get rides home without getting behind the wheel yourself, why are we not taking them? People were saying, well, like, Ubers and Lyfts are too expensive. And funerals aren't expensive? So why take that chance? I also saw a lot of people trying to downplay the situation like she didn't murder 3 people. I saw some people trying to be like, well, 2 of them were cops, so why does it matter? Listen, I am not the police's biggest cheerleader. Like, not at all. But that doesn't excuse just murdering 2 cops that weren't doing anything. They were simply doing their regular ass jobs. They pulled her over for suspected drunk driving, where she clearly was drunk. And again, she should not be on the road while being drunk. Like, something is not right with some of you who can excuse vehicular manslaughter. I do think that when the cops pulled her over and they got called to go help the pedestrian, they should have took her keys. She should not have been allowed to keep driving in that state, and then she could either wait until the state troopers were done doing their business or have someone come pick her up. She should not have been allowed to get back on the road, but I'm not going to blame the cops for that. They were trying to give her a second chance, but like, girl, just get home safely. Don't go 110 in a 50. And again, she was smiled upon. She was given a second chance. And she threw it away to murder 3 people. I don't feel bad for her. Because again, driving drunk is very much so intentional. Because I saw people try to be like, drunk driving, this whole situation was an accident. I want you to understand that drunk driving is never an accident. It's very much so intentional. You knew exactly what you were doing and you know exactly what could happen when you get behind the wheel drunk. Then seeing people, again, trying to downplay the situation. And it's like, are you telling me that if it was your loved one that she murdered, you would tell people to live, love, laugh? No, you wouldn't. No, you fucking wouldn't. And it's insane to me that you can see, because I don't think you understand how many people have lost loved ones to drunk driving. This shit is serious. And it's horrible and it's so unnecessary, especially now. There's so many avenues in which you don't have to drive drunk, but still making that choice is because you're an asshole. You're absolutely an asshole. This whole situation has really opened my eyes to the fact that a lot of people do not take drunk driving seriously. And I do think a lot of that stems with the culture we have with alcohol in this country and the fact that it is not looked at like the drug it actually is. Like, alcohol is right up there with the big boys when it comes to drugs. And like, I feel like people know that people have alcohol addictions, but I really don't think people understand how severe that can be and how much it can destroy your life unless you've dealt with it yourself or you've had a loved one who's been very severe in their addiction. Because I feel like a lot of American adults are functioning alcoholics, and when that I mean alcohol maybe is not ruining their life per se, but they are consistently drinking, consistently drunk. And I think if we had more honest conversations about alcohol and the reasons why we drink, a lot of people would realize that they have an addiction. Because I feel like if you can't go more than 2 days without drinking, you have a problem, right? And I feel like we've turned alcohol into this like social thing, and it's like you not only drink to be social, it comes to be a problem that you can't be around people and be sober and have a good time. There's something wrong with that. And you know what? As someone who went to college, like, it really did feel like people weren't drinking because they wanted to drink, but they were just drinking to keep up appearances and be cool or to be around people. And a lot of people, now looking back at it, we're clearly alcoholics who were just able to function. Like, my father's dad died when I think I was in first grade. I never really knew him, but from what my dad would tell me about him, that he also had an alcohol addiction. And my dad watching my grandfather go through all of that is the reason why he doesn't drink that much. I also, now that I'm home permanently, like, I drink a lot more when I was on campus. That's because I was always at parties and there was always alcohol supplied. But now that I'm like home full time and stuff like that, I really can go weeks, months without drinking. I think the only time I really drink is when I go out to dinner. That's like, I feel like that's like a nice little thing to go with the meal, like a drink. But outside of that, like, I'm not at the liquor store every weekend buying alcohol, because I know that alcohol addiction does run in my family and it's killed my grandfather. And in the Black community, I 100% believe we do not take alcohol addiction serious at all. I feel like it's more of a joke, and like, we actually push towards like, when we push towards like the overindulgence of alcohol, or we push to like drinking your feelings. I've seen so many videos of like grown Black men like being heartbroken and their friends just like pouring alcohol down their throats, and it's like, one, alcohol is a depressant and it actually makes you sadder. Like, as much as you may think like it makes me so bubbly and so happy, it actually is a depressant. It brings you down. So it's the worst thing you can do at your lowest moments is actually drink alcohol. But like, seeing like Black men be in pain and like suffering from heartbreak, and instead of dealing with it and talking about their feelings, their friends just pour alcohol in their mouths and try to get them to have sex. And it's like, that's not how you deal with emotions. And I think a lot of Black people don't know how to deal with their emotions in healthy ways, so we go through alcohol to try to deal with that. And that's not right. You need to talk to people, put the Hennessy down, and talk to a professional. Like, I'm so serious. Like, alcohol is not going to make your feelings and situations any better. So yeah, that's it for me. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on this whole situation? Are you part of the normalized drunk driving crew? Listen, I hope you're not. I really hope you're not, because there's nothing normal or okay about drunk driving. What are your opinions on the ways in which we view drinking in your specific country? Because I know like drinking culture is different depending on where you go. In some places, like, that overindulgence of alcohol like is like really really pushed. Like, I know in Korea, like, they have a huge drinking culture. So what are your guys' opinions respectively from where you're from? But yeah, that's it for me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.